Hi everyone, I'm Birgit from Koba.Siani. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have another dress out of the blouse pattern Stella for you. Step by step, I'm now showing you what this blouse pattern can do for you. And this is already the fourth dress I'm making out of this basic blouse pattern. That's amazing. And I think a purchase of this pattern in combination with my pattern hack tutorials here on YouTube, you can learn a lot about pattern changing and hacking. And I hope I can inspire you to play around with the patterns you already have at home. And I promise you, this is by far not the last pattern hack you will see here on YouTube. I'm especially excited about this dress here as it brings together several trends for 2022, which are big sleeves, square necklines and the whole shape of the skirt part here, and gingham checks. Plus, it has pockets! This is again my free tutorial for side seam pockets. I'm linking you the video here. And if you think this all sounds quite interesting and you don't want to miss any sewing project from my side, then you can of course subscribe to my channel here. Or you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook and Pinterest. Or you can write me to info@Koba.Siani. Just tap newsletter and you'll receive my monthly newsletter. You can also of course write me to the same email address if you have any questions about my sewing projects. The Stella pattern is available in all my shops. The links are below in the description box. And I have also a written sewing instruction for you, which is available on my homepage for free. The link is also below this video here. So I think as soon as you've prepared your pattern, gathered your materials, we also need some paper, scissors and glue for today changing the pattern. We can start now. Have fun!
So let's hack the Stella pattern again. I'm showing you this here in a smaller scale, as you'll have a better view then. At first we have to find the highest shoulder point, which is the crossing point of the shoulder and the neckline seam. I'm marking it here in red and it's 1 centimeter away from the paper edge. From this point now I'm measuring downwards 32 centimeters. This is, in my size at least, the distance from besides your neck down to below your chest. Of course, this is different for each size. The best thing is to try this out in front of a mirror. Just put a measuring tape in this position and measure downwards what would be a good position for the waist seam, for the higher waist seam. If you have a bigger chest and want to make it appear a little bit smaller, it is also possible to measure not really below your chest, but only down to the last third or fourth of your chest. Now I'm drawing in a seam line which is in a right angle to the center front. To transfer this position to the back part, I'm now measuring the seam line at the side seam, means here also 1 centimeter within the paper pattern. This seam line is of course excluding the dart area. Then I'm transferring this distance to the back part side seam line. And then again I'm drawing the new seam line here in a right angle to the center back. Afterwards I'm just adding 1 centimeter for the seam allowance for this seam and then cutting my pattern. Okay, so now to the new neckline. At first I have to glue another piece of paper to my pattern, as the new neckline will be a little bit less steep. Again, the highest shoulder point is the reference point for drafting the new neckline. I'm measuring downwards from there 18 centimeter. Of course, you can also choose another measurement. From there, I'm drawing a line in a right angle to the center front and measuring the width of the bottom of the neckline. This is in the half, how I'm working here now, 7.5 centimeter. At the shoulder, I'm making the neckline 2 centimeters larger and then linking all points and adding the seam allowance of 1 centimeter. Again, it is up to you to choose these measurements, and it is also quite easy to try these out. You could at first begin with holding the measuring tape on your body in front of a mirror and then drafting the pattern on the paper and then holding the paper pattern to your body, and just to have a first check if the measurements are working for you. Here again in detail the new neckline. From the original highest shoulder point, I've measured downwards these 18 centimeter, then 7.5 centimeter to the right. At the shoulder, I've measured 2 centimeters along the shoulder seam to the right, and then I have linked all points and added the seam allowance. Then I'm cutting the new neckline. The widening of the neckline of 2 centimeter, of course, we have also to do in the back neckline. So this I'm doing here, drawing first the seam line and then adding again the 1 centimeter seam allowance and cutting the neckline. As we have changed now quite a lot on our pattern, we have to check 2 points. Now I'm comparing the seam lengths and I'm folding away the darts at the chest and at the shoulder and comparing the seam length. Side seams and shoulder seams should match. Now that we have a new neckline, we also need new facings. At first I'm drawing in a line about 5 or 6 centimeter parallel to the new neckline. This will be the lower edge of the new facings. Then I'm pinning a new piece of paper underneath the neckline area. The center front, the neckline and the shoulder I can copy from the main front part or back part, and I'm doing this by cutting along these lines. Now only the lower edge of the facing is missing, and this I'm copying like that. I'm putting my paper pattern with the new facing on the window, turning it around to the wrong side, and then I can see the lower edge of the facing and I can just copy and draw this line on the new piece of paper which will be the facing later. So basically I'm using my window as a huge light box. Now I'm removing the pins and then I'm cutting along the lower edge of the new facing to finish it. This whole procedure I'm repeating for the new back neck facing. At the back part, by the way, I have to fold the shoulder dart as if it was sewn already to make the back neck facing. By the way, don't forget to letter your new pattern pieces so you won't mix them up. Now it's time to cut the fabric. At first I'm cutting the skirt tiers, and how I calculated them you can look up in the written sewing instruction, which is on my homepage. The link for it is below in the description box. The shape for these tiers are simple rectangles. I'm making my skirt with 2 tiers, of course you can also choose another shape. At the center front and back you should add notches so it's easier to join all the parts later. Additionally to the tiers, I'm cutting a small ruffle, which I'll add between these tiers. The width of this pattern piece is 10 centimeter and the length of course depends on your size. Later I will fold this ruffle lengthwise so that the lower edge will later be the fold. Then follow all the other pattern pieces. The center front and back at the main fabric and the facings are cut on fold. As in my case I don't have enough fabric to cut the center back in the main fabric on fold too, I'm cutting this like this and adding 1 cm seam allowance to link both sides later together. The pocket bags we need 4 times. Below this video you'll find a link to the free pattern of these. Then the sleeves are following. The facings I'm cutting additionally in a soft interlining. So here are now all our pattern parts. Here above are the sleeves, then the back part, front part, each with facings, and the upper tier and the lower tier of the skirt, and our extra small ruffle in between. And at last the side seam pockets. Before I start sewing, I'm just quickly fixing the interlining on the facings. Wrong fabric side to the gluing side of the interlining, of course. At first I'm closing the shoulder darts and the chest darts, and if you like to have your top a little bit more fitted, also the waist darts. I'm skipping the waist darts. Afterwards I'm linking all the parts of the small ruffle. Then I'll join the top parts with the upper tier. The seam for the lower tier we'll make later. For this step I have to gather the tier part, of course. Here you can also see that I have a linking seam in the center back. I've linked another video tutorial from me here, just in case you want to see this gathering part a little bit more in detail. When everything is gathered, I'm closing these seams with 1 cm seam allowance for the front and the back part. Now we're moving to the serger. I'm starting with the seam from the previous step and then continuing, this is not filmed here, with the side seams. I mean all side seams. At the top, in the lower tier and on the pocket bags. In the top parts, by the way, the seam allowance of the higher waist seam should be pointing upwards. Afterwards I'm also casting the shoulder seams. And then I'm casting all the lower edges of the facings, including the shoulder edges. And next also the edges of the sleeve seam. Then I'm ironing my work. I'm ironing the shoulder darts and waist darts, if you have any, to the center back or center front. And I'm ironing the chest darts downwards. Also, I'm pressing the waist seams. Now it's time to confess a mistake I've made. I thought it would be a good idea to make the pocket position in between the 2 tiers, but in fact it wasn't at all. Due to this original plan, which turned out to be wrong, I followed another order of the sewing steps. For this sewing tutorial I've tried to correct this mistake, but some views of course will be different because of that changed sewing steps order. And this is one example for a different view. Of course, you haven't linked yet the lower tier to the main part. This we will do in a later step. As we will do now the side seams, I'm at first transferring the pocket notches to the skirt parts. And I would recommend doing this only to the upper tier, which is already linked to the top part. For making the upper part of the side seam, including the pockets, I'm following this tutorial here. I've linked the video here for you. There you can see all the single steps, and we here now in this video can move on. Additionally to this, I'm closing also the lower side seam, means in the lower tier of the skirt. Then I'll also close the shoulder seams in the facings and the main fabric. And I'm closing the sleeve seams. Both shoulder seams and sleeve seams are done with 1 cm seam allowance. Okay, I'm back at the iron. At first, I'm ironing apart the side seam allowance, if you haven't done that yet. And at the same time, I'm already preparing the hem. I'm folding and ironing the hem edge first 1 cm, then 3 cm to the wrong fabric side, and fixing it with pins, of course. I'm also ironing apart the seam allowance of the shoulders in the facing and the main layer. I haven't filmed the pressing of the main layer shoulders, but I think you understand what I mean. Then I'm ironing apart the sleeve seam allowance and also preparing the sleeve hem. Now we can stitch the sleeve hem and the skirt hem. At the sleeves, I'm leaving a small gap open so that I can insert the elastic tape later there. Then we are sewing the lower tier to the skirt part all around the skirt, and I'm putting the small ruffle in between the upper tier and the lower tier. After fixing it with pins, I'm sewing this with 1 cm seam allowance. The next thing to do is the neckline. I'm putting the facings right fabric side on the right fabric side of the main layer and fixing everything with pins. Afterwards, I'm sewing all around the neckline with 1 cm seam allowance. Before, I've already folded the lower edge of the facings some millimeter to the wrong fabric side and stitched this down, but this detail is optional and not at all necessary. Afterwards, I'm adding the sleeves to my dress. I'm gathering the sleeve heads and then pinning them to the body. When I'm doing this, I'm taking care that the notches align. Here I'm sewing on the sleeves with 1 cm seam allowance, of course, and I'm sewing on the sleeve layer. That means that I have a better control about how to distribute the extra width of the sleeves. Then we have 2 seams to cast, and these are the armhole seams and the seam of the lower tier. Afterwards, I'm ironing the armhole seam. The seam allowance is pointing to the body. Here I'm ironing the seam of the lower tier. And then we are continuing with the neckline. I've already trimmed the seam allowance to 5 mm and cut into the corners into the seam allowance, and then I'm ironing the seam allowance apart with the help of a wooden spoon. At the back neckline, I've also cut into the seam allowance along the curves at the sides of the back. Afterwards, I'm folding the facings to the inside of the dress and ironing again the edge. Now only few steps are remaining. At first I'm stitching down the seam allowance of the neckline on the facing. That means I'm stitching through the seam allowance layers and the facing layer just tightly along the seam line. Then I'm folding the facing to the inside of the dress again, and I'm stitching it to the main layer along the shoulder seams. At the armholes I have still the seam ends of the overlock sewing machine, and now I'm threading them in. Then as a last step I'm inserting the elastic tapes into the sleeve hems.
I hope you liked your new dress and that everything went well with the sewing project. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, just write me to info@Koba.Siani.com and I'll help you. Leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. This means really a lot to me as a small creator. And if you like to, follow me here on YouTube or on social media. I hope to see you soon, very soon, in my next video. Take care until then. Bye!